Picture this, the late 1800s. Nations are racing to control land, resources and influence. This is imperialism, when stronger countries flex their power over weaker ones. Why? For natural resources, more markets to sell their stuff, and of course strategic military bases. But was imperialism a power move or a problem? Pro-imperialists claimed it boosted trade and strengthened security with new military bases, but anti-imperialists fired back countries should have the freedom to decide their future. Sounds like a global tug-of-war, right? Take the US, for example. Alaska, bought from Russia in 1867 for just $7.2 million, a bargain. But Hawaii, that was more complicated. In 1893, Sanford Dole overthrew Queen Liliuokalani, craving pineapples and a military stronghold. By 1959, Hawaii became the 50th state, but the annexation debate still lingers. So meanwhile, Alfred Thayer Mahan, a naval genius, declared, "If you want to be a superpower, build a strong navy." This idea supercharged America's military spending and got everyone racing to rule the seas. Now let's talk drama. Cuba's struggle for independence, corruption, high taxes and zero representation made Cubans furious. Enter yellow journalism, wild headlines and exaggerated stories that stirred American sympathy. Then came the explosion of the USS Maine in Havana Harbor in 1898. Cue the outrage and boom, America declared war on Spain. The US quickly won big in Manila Bay and Santiago Bay. The 1898 Treaty of Paris handed over Puerto Rico, Guam and the Philippines for $20 million. Imperialism was now a global reality. Imagine traveling halfway around the world in a fraction of the time. That's the Panama Canal, a game changer. Built between 1904 and 1914, it connected the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Workers battled deadly diseases carried by mosquitoes. Malaria and yellow fever were the real villains here. Here's where imperialism takes a darker turn. By the early 1900s, nations were building weapons, forming alliances and competing for global dominance. Tensions boiled over in 1914 when Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated. This one event ignited World War I. On one side, the Allies, England, France and Russia. On the other, the Central Powers, Germany, Austria, Hungary and the Ottoman Empire. And then there was the Western Front, a grueling 1,100-mile line of trenches, barbed wire and misery. This war was unlike anything the world had seen. Poison gas, tanks, airplanes and machine guns turned battlefields into nightmares. Millions of lives were lost as the fight dragged on. At first, the US stayed neutral, but then two events changed everything. First, German U-boats sank the Lusitania, killing 128 Americans. Then, the Zimmermann telegram revealed Germany's secret plan to ally with Mexico against the US. In 1917, America entered the war ready to tip the scales. The American Expeditionary Forces, led by General John J. Pershing, helped the Allies turn the tide. Back home, citizens rallied through war bonds and volunteerism. It was a nationwide effort. The war ended on November 11, 1918, with the Treaty of Versailles. Germany was blamed and forced to pay reparations, leaving it humiliated. Empires like Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire collapsed. Maps were redrawn and nations like Russia embraced communism. The League of Nations was formed to prevent future wars, though, ironically, the United States didn't join. Imperialism and World War I reshaped the world, but at a devastating cost. Over 20 million lives lost. They remind us of the high stakes of power struggles and the importance of seeking peace. History's lessons are clear. The choices we make today echo through generations. Will we repeat the past or choose a better path forward?